All right. And we are back live here. This is GWP Live Severe Weather Coverage. It is March 11th, 2026. It's 12:15 a.m. Central Daylight Time, and we are back here with an update on the ongoing severe weather that we are dealing with here across the state of Missouri. We've seen a few changes within just the last few minutes here, so we just wanted to go ahead and deliver those updates to you as they come in here. So of course, if you do have any questions, you can drop them in the chat and we will answer those. And so we actually will not be taking calls while we're live on the air. When we're off the air, that would be the appropriate time for calls, as we don't actually have the calls running through this live stream. So just keep that in mind for tonight. So if you want to call in, make sure you do that when we're not live. If we are live, then just go ahead and drop the questions in the chat. So that's what we're going to be doing for tonight. So just wanted to give you some updates. We do have a tornado warning now across Illinois. So we once again are back to where we're seeing tornadoes in Illinois. We've also seen some watches that have expired, so that is some good news, but some new alerts have come up for our area. We're going to get into those momentarily, but first I wanted to point out we've got tornado watches still in effect across southeastern Kansas and southwestern Missouri. This stretches from Vernon County all the way down to the border, including us here in Nevada and Joplin. This tornado watch goes in effect until 4 a.m. These storms are not going to last until 4 a.m. They should be out of this area, I would say, within the next hour, maybe 2 hours at most. So maybe at 2 a.m. at the latest, I would say. So we do still have a, well, that's a lot when you look at it from that angle. Just one second here. There we go. So we do have a special weather statement that has been issued for Vernon County, Barton County, and northwestern Jasper County, and then western and central Barton County, and then pretty much all of Vernon County. So this is just a strong thunderstorm, not expecting any severe damage, but we could have, a little bit of minor damage, I guess you could say. This special weather statement goes in effect until 12:45 a.m. for winds gusting of 50 to 55 miles per hour. So the winds are definitely going to pick up. Heavy amounts of rainfall, heavy thunderstorms are going to move in. But at this point in time, we're not expecting any damage. And so, what sort of impacts could we be looking at? Again, severe damage is not likely, but you could have some small tree limbs, some unsecure objects could blow around. And then we also are looking at some small hail as well. So half-inch hail. That's the other threat that I forgot to mention. So 50 to 55 mile per hour winds, so just below severe limits. And then we're looking at half-inch hail is what is expected. And I would say the biggest hail risk is kind of over here. So that's going to be moving into Crawford County in Kansas and Barton County in Missouri. But as far as that hail threat, it doesn't seem like it's going to be a big concern for us in Nevada. In Nevada, our main concern is more going to be the hail threat that we could be looking at over the next few minutes here. So that is something, excuse me, that we are going to be watching here. We also do have a couple of new severe thunderstorm warnings. All right, sorry for that brief interruption here. Continuing on our live stream here. So, again, we've got a couple of new severe thunderstorm warnings that have been issued here. This one is just to the northeast of Nevada here, so that's where we've got that risk for some stronger winds. 60-mile-per-hour wind gust and quarter-size hail. At 12:05, a severe thunderstorm was located near Shell City, moving 12 miles east of Rich Hill, moving towards the east at 45 miles per hour. So these storms overall have been moving a little bit on the slower side, I guess you could say. But again, 60-mile-per-hour winds, that's going to be the big concern. This is going to be moving towards the Harry S. Truman Reservoir. So again, that's something that we're going to have to continue to watch. Then we've got another severe thunderstorm warning extending into southeastern Kansas. We've got just to the south of Fort Scott, severe thunderstorm warning for Bourbon County as well as Crawford County in Kansas, 60-mile-per-hour winds and quarter-size hail. So these storms have been getting a little bit stronger. Of course, they went below severe limits not that long ago, but now they are back to being severe, and so that's the reason why we have these severe thunderstorm warnings. And then there's another one just to the north of that one that we were looking at moments ago, severe thunderstorm warning for here for 60-mile-per-hour winds across the Henry County area till 12:45 a.m. So 60-mile-per-hour winds expected from that. So once we start getting into 60-mile-per-hour winds, that's when we can be looking at damage to roofs, siding, and trees as well. So that's 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts that are expected. So I guess basically, in summary, 60-mile-per-hour winds to the northeast of Nevada and to the southwest of Nevada, and then about 50-mile-per-hour winds across the Nevada area, with that quarter-size hail threat moving into just to the west of Pittsburgh. So that's going to be the area that we're going to have to watch for some of the bigger hail, as well as in some of these more rural communities to the north of US 54. So once again, kind of the good news is that a lot of the severe thunderstorm warnings that we have right now are across a less populated area. And so that is certainly good. Of course, Pittsburgh a little bit more populated, but Pittsburgh is currently not in that warning at this point in time. We've still got flash flood warnings, as we mentioned earlier, so those still go in effect for quite some time. And then we do have a tornado warning just to the south of Peoria, Illinois. I guess we'll just go ahead and take a look at that here. So and then we've also got some large hail, so tornado and ping pong ball size hail. So ping pong ball size hail, that can cause significant damage to vehicles as well as siding. So that's kind of the damage that we start looking at when we get to 1.5 inches in diameter. So this is a pretty dangerous storm. But again, really the tornado is the big concern. Radar indicated rotation. So make sure that you take shelter if you're in this area. So you'll notice that we have a few different smaller towns that are in the path of that. So again, take shelter here at 12:15. It was located over the Green Valley area. It's continued to move. So there's Green Valley. So now it's probably right kind of in this area, and it's going to continue to move towards the northeast. Again, Peoria is kind of a more populated city. So luckily it's a little bit further to the south of that populated area. Still got some heavy thunderstorms moving across Chicago. Good news is that none of these are severe, although we've had quite a bit of rainfall the last couple of hours in the Chicago area, so we have to watch for that flooding concern, as I would say we've probably picked up over an inch of rainfall across that area, if not more than that. So that is something to watch. Still raining across western and central Michigan, where we have those flash flood warnings around the Grand Rapids area as well as north of Lansing. So that's something else that we're going to have to watch as well. So let's see, we don't have any new changes to any of our alerts here across Missouri. So unless we do, or if we did, we would go back to those. But for the time being, we'll look at a couple of warnings across Oklahoma as well as into Texas. We've got this one on the north side, severe thunderstorm warning till 12:30, 60-mile-per-hour winds and some penny-sized hail. So penny-sized hail is non-severe, 60-mile-per-hour winds. That's what's prompting the warning. So 60-mile-per-hour winds, radar indicated threat at this point in time. And then as we go south, crossing over into Texas, but also still in Oklahoma, so both in Texas and Oklahoma, severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 12:45 a.m. This one for both 60-mile-per-hour winds and quarter-size hail. So make sure that you take shelter from that. But at this point in time, no significant damage is expected from those storms. But again, some damage to siding is going to be possible. Again, some tree damage as well. And then, of course, maybe even some damage from some of that hail as well. So let's see. Looks like we've got some new updates here. We've got a couple of warnings across the Texas area. This one is going to expire. So we did have a severe thunderstorm warning west of Waco, but that has actually moved out of the warned area. We'll have to see if this is extended. So there's kind of where you see that backward C shape right there. So that's where we can have some of those stronger winds moving just to the northwest of Waco around the Lake Whitney area. So at this point in time, though, that storm is not warned. And then we have a severe thunderstorm warning to the west of Austin. This goes in effect until 12:45 a.m. 60-mile-per-hour winds are going to be the main concern, not much of a hail risk. So again, we did have some really big hail. I was mentioning earlier that we had some softball size hail across the state of Texas. So the good news is that all of that has cleared out of there. So that's really good news. So the hail is no longer as big of a threat as it was earlier this evening. Across the state of Illinois, if verified, we actually could have seen the biggest hailstone ever recorded in the state of Illinois. There was a few hail reports of over 5 inches. So that would be a state record if that was verified. So we'll have to see if that does. So there were some storm trackers that did. They actually froze it. They took the 5 inch hailstone and they froze it so that they could have that as evidence to see if it ends up being the state record. So that was kind of some crazy news earlier this afternoon. But again, luckily those storms have weakened. Now we just got a new update here. Severe thunderstorm warning extended into the Bloomington, Illinois areas. This goes in effect until 1 a.m. 60-mile-per-hour winds, and so we got half-dollar size hail. So that's pretty big hail. I mean, not super significant, but a little bit bigger than it had been. So half-dollar size hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds moving into the Bloomington area. So okay. So I was just checking out some new information that we have. So we've still got two severe thunderstorm warnings across the area. So this is the one, or I guess three, because that's two separate ones right there. So this is still that one that goes in effect across Bourbon and Crawford counties in Kansas, 60-mile-per-hour winds and quarter-size hail. This is still radar indicated, so still no confirmation on that. Looks like we're around the Crawford area. It is just to the west of US 69. I guess it crosses 69 here to the north of Pittsburgh, but the worst of the storm itself is kind of in that darker red area to the northwest of Pittsburgh. So that has not made its way through yet. So we're still watching that. But at least the storms that are moving through Nevada at this point in time are non-severe. And so that is certainly some really good news that we have. Here in Columbia, yeah, that's kind of what I thought. We're still dry here in Colombia, and we are based on the radar, so none of this is actually reaching the ground here. In fact, these storms have weakened significantly from what we were looking at just like 2 hours ago across northern Missouri, so that is some good news. So I would really say at this point in time, based on what I'm looking at, I would say anywhere north of, let's say, US 50. This highway right here, just kind of roughly this area, I would say we're done with severe weather in Sedalia. We're done with severe weather in Kansas City, Jefferson City. Columbia also looks to be in the clear at this point in time. Lake of the Ozarks, we'll have to watch these storms right here. So if these continue to move in, Lake of the Ozarks could be getting severe weather in about an hour. So we'll watch for that. And then we'll also watch for southwestern Missouri as well. But really, I would say kind of in this area is where we still have to watch for the severe weather. Of course, if we go back to, let me put those tornado watches back on here. This is the area that's under the tornado watch until 4 a.m. So, I mean, that really highlights it for you. This is the area that we're most concerned about. Of course, we've got that separate area under that tornado watch. This tornado watch across central Illinois goes in effect until 2 a.m. So, again, we do still have active warnings across central Illinois. And then we also have another tornado watch across southwestern Michigan and northern Indiana. This tornado watch goes in effect until 1 a.m. So these are two separate tornado watches for two separate times. This one goes until 1 a.m., this one until 2 a.m., and then this one here goes in effect until 4 a.m. across Oklahoma, Arkansas, Kansas, and Missouri, including Nevada and Joplin until 4 a.m. And then we do have a severe thunderstorm watch across central Texas until 2 a.m. So I guess zooming out here, we've got 2 a.m., 4 a.m., 2 a.m., 1 a.m. That's how much longer we have on these severe and tornado watches. I know the last time that we were on the live stream, I was anticipating another watch be issued across central Missouri. I am no longer expecting that to happen because these storms have weakened below severe limits. And so that is certainly some really good news. So again, pretty strong storm moving through Vernon County at this point in time, likely seeing some winds of 50, maybe 55 miles per hour. So that's something that we're going to have to continue to watch. We've got some hail, of course, across southeastern Kansas. That's going to be moving into Barton County. So around the Lamar area, we can get in on some of the stronger storms here. And then we'll have to see about Joplin. Joplin could end up being spared with these storms. We've also had some stronger storms across northeastern Oklahoma. It appears that these storms are going to go south of Joplin. So that's what I'm saying. These storms that are affecting us here in Nevada, those storms are going to go north of Joplin, and then the storms that we're dealing with in Oklahoma appear to be going south. So Joplin is kind of right in the middle between these two different lines of thunderstorms that are moving through. The one here across Oklahoma is not severe at this point in time, except for this portion right here across northeastern Texas and into southeastern Oklahoma. So let's go ahead and we'll refresh this, see if we have anything new. So again, let's just get another quick update. So at this point in time, this tornado warning that we have, probably not on the ground, just based on the fact that a severe thunderstorm warning was issued just to the just looks like we've got new tornado warning across Oklahoma that I just heard about. Yeah, so we just have a new tornado warning, so we're actually going to take you to that here. So this is a radar indicated threat. National Weather Service in Tulsa, Oklahoma says at 2:29 a.m. a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located 5 miles west of Red Oak. So right in there, that appears to be our possible rotation. And I believe, just based on the direction in which the polygon is facing, it's facing as if it's moving to the northeast. Yeah, moving northeast at 45 miles per hour. And so you'll notice again some of those counties here until 1 a.m. So if you are in this area, make sure to, well, take shelter at this point in time to the most interior room and the lowest level of the building. That is the recommended place to go if you are under that tornado warning here. Okay, and it looks like that we also just had a new severe thunderstorm watch that was issued here across the Detroit area, southeastern Michigan. So southeastern Michigan, this severe thunderstorm watch goes until 3 a.m. So I guess just kind of as a so again, this one goes until 2. This tornado watch goes until 4. This tornado watch goes until 2. This tornado watch goes until 1. And then this severe thunderstorm watch goes until 3. So that is where we're at this point in time. And you'll notice all sorts of different alerts across the country. As we mentioned, lots of other weather events going on besides severe weather at this point. Looking at a total, so we have two tornado warnings, the one in Oklahoma, the one in Illinois. We've got six severe thunderstorm warnings. We've got that one in central Texas. We've got that one here in Texas and Oklahoma. We've got three across our area, and then we have that one in Illinois. And then we've got three flash flood warnings. The ones in Michigan just expired. So now we've got three flash flood warnings. Two of them are just south of Kansas City. And then we've still got that flash flood warning in the Dallas area. So total, we're looking at 11 active severe alerts, and that includes tornado, severe, and flash flood warnings. So that is where we're currently at this point in time. So, of course, a lot of those being across our area where we are experiencing that line that is continuing to move through. All right. Well, I believe we are going to go ahead and end the live stream just because we don't really have any new information to deliver at this point in time. And so stay safe out there. If there's anything else that we need to update you on,